Marjorie Taylor Greene did her big 60 Minutes interview, and I want to walk through some moments from it. Bonkers as always with Marjorie Taylor Greene, detached from reality, all the normal things. But one of the big discussions before we get into some clips that was being had about this, a lot of outrage about the fact that 60 Minutes did this interview. And I understand that criticism because it's it's almost a mainstreaming of Marjorie Greene on the part of 60 Minutes. Now, I have pretty much no problem with anyone being what people call platformed if that process, if the interviewing process is done correct, right? I don't think this was done correct. Now, some parts are okay. I'll show you a part that I really took issue with and a general narrative that I took issue with that was present within this interview. But it's important that we don't allow individuals such as Marjorie Greene to appear like just another person in the discussion about reasonable policy positions or something, because that's just not the reality. But take a look at this first clip. This is Lesley Stahl listing off different terms that Marjorie Greene has been called. And this part I don't take issue with. If you actually challenge them and make clear to your audience the absurdity of the individual you're interviewing, it's okay to bring on someone really radical. If you allow for your audience to start getting a distorted view of this person possibly being reasonable when they're very much not, that's when there's a problem. But take a look at this from Lesley Stahl. Again, listing off some Marjorie Greene nicknames.
We looked up some words that have been said about you.
Okay.
Crazy, Q clown, Looney Tune, unhinged, moron. Pretty ugly stuff.
Looks like the average troll in my Twitter feed, so I don't really care.
You're used to it.
So I don't let name calling bother me or offend me. I just don't.
How much have you styled yourself after Donald Trump? People say that you are Trump in high heels.
I didn't intentionally style myself after President Trump.
And this starts to get to what I really didn't like about the interview, where there was so much emphasis on her style and how outspoken she is and that type of stuff, which is not the issue that people should have with Marjorie Greene. It's not that she's really aggressive on an issue or something like that. It's what she stands for and her detached from reality positions and rhetoric and the dangerous rhetoric that she spews. And a lot of this focused on her style as if it's just kind of a little personality quirk.
But I can see how people draw those similarities. We both come from the same industry, construction. I also have pretty much a plain speaking style, and so does he.
But also, he's often in attack mode. And you appear to be.
Yeah, I think our government deserves it. They don't really deserve to be respected that much.
And Lesley Stahl will highlight some of the unhinged beliefs of Marjorie Greene, but it's not even that she's attacking. You can attack if it's rhetorical, not physical, obviously, in a justified way where you're calling out broken systems and stuff like that. And so that is, again, putting it in the category of a stylistic way about Marjorie Greene and not to the core her beliefs are dangerous. The way that she communicates and understands the reality is so far from the facts and all of that. Next moment, here's an example of Lesley Stahl asking her about her wild accusations against the left.
And things she says that are over the top, like...
The Democrats are a party of pedophiles.
I would definitely say so. They support grooming children.
They are not pedophiles. Why would you say that?
Democrats support, even Joe Biden, the president himself, supports children being sexualized and having transgender surgeries. Sexualizing children is what pedophiles do to children.
Wow. Okay? But my question really is, can't you fight for what you believe in without all that name calling and without the personal attacks?
Then she brings it back to that. But it's not the name calling. It's the complete delusion. And then maybe that manifests itself also in name calling. Okay, she's name calling Democrats pedophiles, but really she's deriving that term and applying it to the Democratic Party from the QAnon type thinking and a complete misunderstanding about what's going on in the world and all of that, and just an attempt to have all these political attacks against the side that her followers want to see get attacked. And then here's part of what I didn't like about the interview.
Lucrative enterprise.
What are you up to now?
This is 205.
Oh my God.
Greene didn't discover her brazen gutsiness, she says, till after 2011, when she got hooked on CrossFit workouts. She got into the extreme exercising with a passion. Ending.
So I think these are the parts of the interview that led people to call it a puff piece. The whole thing wasn't, and the last moment I'm going to show you highlights that fact, but definitely those little moments would lead one to believe that she's almost being depicted in this favorable light. But again, that wasn't the whole interview, as you'll see here.
Did you apologize for your position on Parkland, Florida?
What was my position on Parkland, Florida?
That it was a false
I don't know
flag?
if you actually have my position. No, I never said Parkland was a false flag.
Did you?
No, I've never said that. School shootings are horrible. I don't think it's anything to joke about.
By the way, the Facebook message or Facebook post comment that they put up on screen is someone who wrote, "It's called a payoff to keep his mouth shut since it was a false flag planned shooting." And Marjorie Greene, I know the text is kind of blocking it right now, but Marjorie Greene responds to that saying, "Exactly."
No, I've never said that. School shootings are horrible. I don't think it's anything to joke about.
We fact-checked before I got to this interview.
Have you fact-checked all my statements from kindergarten through 12th grade and in college? And as I've paid my taxes and never broken a law. And I got a few speeding tickets. Do we need to talk about those too? Because I think where you're going down is the same attacks that people have attacked me with over and over and over.
Well, if this is what you're known for, I think it's good that you're responding.
Really? That line's similar to what we hear from George Santos. The media is attacking me. They're just accurately reporting on the bonkers things you believe. In the case of Marjorie Greene, or in the case of George Santos, all the lies you've told, and also the lies that Marjorie Greene told. They're just reporting on the things you're saying and doing. That's not attacking you. And the people are understandably upset with those very things.
Responding to the charges. I think it's a legitimate
because
thing
people
for us to
constantly focus on it, but never focus on anything good about me.
Like what? And this is what she's trying to do in this moment, is say, okay, there's some stuff in the past, but I am the mainstream now of the Republican Party, which, as sad as it is becoming true. But she wants to pretend as if all of her most conspiratorial beliefs are things of the past. And why don't you focus on the good things I'm doing now? But I want to remind you, this is from when she was a congresswoman. This is 2022. She still is pushing the narrative that mass shootings are false flag operations, or at least some of them are the ones here that she's responding to.
Now, here's what I have to say. I mean, 2 shootings on July 4th, one in a rich white neighborhood and the other at a fireworks display. It almost sounds like it's designed to persuade Republicans to go along with more gun control. I mean, after all, remember, we didn't see that happen at all the pride parades in the month of June, but as soon as we hit MAGA month, as soon as we hit the month that we're all celebrating, loving our country, we have shootings on July 4th. I mean, that would sound like a conspiracy theory, right? Of course. But what?
So, very much still as delusional as she's ever been. And that cannot be forgotten. And any mainstream media or any media that interviews her needs to make clear in that interview. It's okay to interview her, but make clear in the interview just how far she is from reason, just how dangerous she is, and not allow her to normalize her beliefs within our political reality.